Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. And what I will try to show you today is how to replace your worn out, scratched up, broken, torn up leather covers on your armrest in your vehicle. This specifically, these covers, actually there are two of them left and right. They came off a Mazda CX-9. As you can see, very big destruction. Some of this would not come out, and this leather is completely tore up. I ended up buying these leather pieces, is what I would call them, that you can use to refurbish or just install a new piece on top of these covers here, on top of these bases. And these actually, this is a much better, this is a natural, authentic leather, genuine leather, compared to this. This is a vinyl, very low quality from the factory, so this should be much better. Now, of course, you need to get to these covers first, so I'm not gonna get into this because I already disassembled these on this specific car. You need to find your own way of how you're gonna do that on your car, so you need to get to these. When you get to these, obviously the way these are installed, as you can see, we have these staples. Very easy. You just grab a screwdriver and you start picking them up, and they will come out. They shouldn't give you a problem or trouble, too much trouble. If you have a problem with them, then you need to get a pair of pliers and start pulling them out. So I already did one side. This is the cover on this side right here. That's the messed up part. And what we're gonna do this here is I'm gonna try to show you how to install this, because there isn't technically an instruction with these. There isn't a way to install these properly. There isn't much of an advice or guidance how to install these. So you kind of have to start with positioning this, and there's a foam pad. This is what this is about, maybe 2/3 of an inch or maybe half an inch, I would say. It looks like maybe 8 millimeters to 1 centimeter. I would say about 8 millimeters. So the one major thing that you need to watch for, especially since we have the stitching here, that stitching sits right in the corner. So you need to be able to match this right at this corner. And the way you match this is when you start, there's a way, there's a certain path the way you can see that leather is supposed, the stitching is like this wide area of the stitching is supposed to go through, and it's right here in this corner, because there's a groove, as you can see right here. There's a groove right here in this case, and there's another groove right here. So when you match these, you need to kind of pull this leather as much as possible. It may be advisable if you need a second person to help you with this. You can get a friend or whatever, and you need to pull this as much as you can. And the way we're gonna do this is, I started this by punching holes in the leather, because on the old leather, as you can see, the first guidance is these holes here through these little plastic guides, and then the staplers. So we have the guides here. I'm starting with one side. I pulled the leather to kind of measure this, where this leather is going to meet this corner here, and then I started punching the holes, and actually I got all of them here. I need to connect just this one. You just pull, you just kind of punch a hole, and then you make the hole a little bit bigger. So this is where I'm gonna install these. Remember, this leather is gonna pull back on you, so you're gonna have to find a way to pull this more towards the other side. It may not be as easy as it seems. Most likely it won't be. But you have to find a way to pull this, and when you pull this all the way to the other side, you need to kind of press this and you need to kind of imagine in your head where, when you do this leather, where you can punch these holes so that the leather is actually under pressure and pulled on this side. Because remember, this has to be perfect here. You can't have any wrinkles, you can't have any problems. So I'm gonna pull on this side. I'm gonna try to start this from the middle, and we can always pull back here, and we can always pull it on the front and rear because we have these guides here, right here. But you know, the main thing right now is that we need to pull this. If we pull this, as you can see, if we pull to the front, afterwards it should be okay. Getting a little bit of this thing here, but may not be that bad when it's installed. Anyway, let's try to see if we pull this. Always feel this to see whether it's crimpling or it's doing something weird. It's not doing anything weird, so I'm gonna pull here, and you have to look. Okay, I'm going to try, always kind of advance towards trying to make this tighter, or yeah, to fit tight instead of loose, because if you punch the hole too far out, then obviously it's going to be loose and you're going to end up in trouble. So I'm going to try to punch this hole about right here, and let's see if we can reach that. This leather. It's kind of resisting here. You can also try to use a razor blade, or like a sharp X-Acto knife. Maybe that's what I would need. Well, I got this one through. So when you get this thing through, you can try to come back here and see what it is. You see it's kind of tight. It's wrinkling a little bit, but don't worry about this. As long as you manage to install this properly, these wrinkles will settle down. They will conform to the foam afterwards or later in time. So we're gonna make another hole here. And where is this? It's right here. Remember, always advance. I'm trying not to create too big of a hole, because I had this before with these little pieces where it opens when I use a knife or X-Acto knife. Sometimes the X-Acto knife would be so sharp that it will go through and create a much bigger hole than what I need. So that's why I'm kind of trying to punch this leather through this. And let me see again. Oh, here we go. So we got these two pieces, and I think this needs to be pulled out a little bit more, because see, it's slipping here. This edge here at the end is slipping a little bit, so we need to try to pull it back in here. And once we pull it, okay, we can now install this. Same way. And let's see. Where is this? It's here. And this leather is much harder or much stronger because it's actually genuine leather. It's not like the junk that came from the factory. Okay. And also when you do this, you need to pay attention to these corners when all this was cut, because you need to have enough space to go around here in order to wrap this leather around these corners here. You see, that's why you need to pay attention right where this corners. It looks like this corner is supposed to be like right here, because this is the middle piece right here, so this is supposed to be right here in the corner, but we'll do this in a second. So far it's looking good. It's just these two little tiny wrinkles, but again, don't pay attention to this. What's most important thing is to get this right here, the corner, and to match these the guides here on the inside, where these stitchings are, or the extra leather goes. So the track, I would say, yeah, it's the track. So we will continue with this. And how many do we have more? Let me see, I need to pull this a little bit more. Yeah, I need to pull this a little bit more. So I'm gonna skip one. I'm gonna skip one of these. I have one on the left here that I'm going to skip so I can kind of get this tighter towards. So I can pull it and stretch the leather. Okay, we got another hole. Here we go. We have one more here that I can do in a second, but as you can see, it's coming very, very nice. I mean, this is just very, very nice. It's not like what it was. Like, you can't even compare these two. That's natural genuine leather. This is junk. So I'm also changing the color. As you can see, I'm not going to install the white color, gray color, whatever that thing is. It's just that's an amazingly ugly color. I don't know why they installed this on the armrest when this would be the most used piece, one of the most used pieces in a car by the person driving the car. So you can imagine all the oils, nastiness and dirt and extra stuff that's gonna land on their hands, and then it's gonna land right there on that leather while they're driving the car, because they're gonna put their hands on the armrest all the time. and it's just, this is a very very bad idea to have this light gray leather there, because it won't help anyone. So here we go, we got these, and we got one more piece to go here. Looks like this is very stretched. It's looking good, but I'm gonna stretch it a little bit more because it's right here in the corner. Like I said, it needs to match these, so I'm gonna stretch it here, and I'm going to install, where is this again, advance towards the outside, so you have a little bit of room for this leather to stretch when you install this on the car, or on this cover, sorry, because you need to make sure that this is actually pulled correctly. Okay, here we go. So the leather's kind of trying to pop out, but don't worry about it. As long as you do this properly, it should be okay. You see, this is tight, no wrinkles. This little stuff, once you treat this leather afterwards, it'll conform to the foam, so don't worry about it. Leather treatment will fix this. I think this is because of the stitching and partially because of the foam. But anyway, you see the point here. So what next we need to do is, we have these here on the side, and then we have two on the front. Now there's a lot of leather here, and here's the problem. We're gonna have to cut some of this, because this is just plain out too much. Yeah, this is too much leather, and I don't know how I'm gonna be able to squeeze this. Okay, I'm gonna try to leave this here, and I'm considering trying to staple this back. The only issue is I got a stapler I don't have one of these, so I got a heavy duty, or that's a light duty actually, stapler from Home Depot. So I'm going to try to see how this works. Unfortunately, the smallest size of staplers that I found was this stapler here, and the size of this is actually, come on, so the size of this is 6 millimeters. That seems to me a little bit too big, because that will punch. That seems a little bit too big. I may have to customize these staplers one by one, because they're way over too big, or the sides, the legs of the staplers are too long, because remember, we have plastic, and on the other side we don't want this to punch through the other side. So we can do this, and we either can try to do a paper stapler, like with normal papers, they're pretty strong, or we can try with this, but we can try with these, but I'm gonna have to cut this a little bit shorter, that I can probably, I'm gonna need to shorten this halfway, like the side of it's gonna need to be halfway cut, so I can make this maybe about, this is 6 millimeters, so it's supposed to be maybe 2 to 3 millimeters. Then I can use this to actually staple this leather to this. And let me try to install this back and front part, and then we're gonna consider our options. Again, we need to pull this and we need to pull this, and where is this? Again, punch the hole a little bit closer to the edge, so that you have this is a little bit too far away actually, so I'm gonna make another hole right here, because these are way too close to each other. And this may let me try to open this a little bit more. There we go. That's one. And I'm gonna have to do the same thing with the other one. Okay, where is it? It's right here. So kind of try to imagine where this pin is, or this little guide is, so you can get it through the leather and just push the leather around that pin, the guide. Here we go. And another one here. You could use a bigger tool also if you have access to. I'm just gonna use this one because it works for me. There we go. So that is what's supposed to look like in this corner. This is going to be, it's going to need to be stapled here or attached somehow. So I'm gonna have to attach this corner first. Like I said, we have what do we have here? We have three of these, or two. Yeah, we're gonna have to attach this first with a stapler, and then attach the rest of the leather on top of it like this. And we may have to cut some leather with a razor blade, because there's way too much leather here, too extra stuff, too much extra material. So this is here, this needs to go down here. That leather's gonna have to be cut somewhere here because it's too much again. Yeah, what do we have here? Oh, here's only staples. That's going to be fun, because I'm gonna have to get here. I'm gonna have to punch it right here. This is what it's supposed to look like here. Okay, there's another experiment that I can do and see how this works with the paper staplers, because these look, of course the leather is thinner that came out, so this looks about 3 millimeters. I can do that. Maybe I can try a paper stapler, even though they're also very big. Let me see the size. Let me see, I can try a couple of things. A paper stapler, and then I can try this light duty one to see which one is gonna work better. So guys, I got my cutters here, and I managed to, as you can see how far this is, I have managed to cut this almost in half here, and that's what we're gonna try to use here. So we're gonna load a few of those, and let's see how this is gonna work, because this may not give us let's see if this is going to work, because these were separated. So I'm gonna push these here. Okay, I managed to load them, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to punch first here on the side. Always test somewhere that you feel that if something gets destroyed, you have a way to recover this. So I need to get this leather here going. So here, and here. So let me try, see if I can actually, I'm able to punch this through. Well, wait a second. Yeah, the handle was stopping me. Okay, another try. This is just crazy. It's not working. Why is it not working? Let's see on the other side. No. So let's see why this is not working. So okay, it's in the track, and it's why it's in. Let's see. Well, it's not shooting the stapler. Okay, so this on this side is not going to work in that way. Let me try to see if I can just use the normal, the bigger size. The only problem is the normal 6mm size. The only problem is something is going on here. Something's going on with the stapler. That's why it's not shooting these staplers. me see if it's, if at least on this thick leather here, we may be able to get away without stapling this whole piece, maybe with paper staplers. Let me see in a second, but at least I can try to staple this big piece, this thick leather here in the corners. That will help us tremendously if we can attach the, you know, this thing. Let me see if this will work. No, for some reason. So guys, is a trial and error. Had to go back to Home Depot and get some staplers. The one I had wasn't working. I got this Electrical Milwaukee one, very nice. I punched one stapler with the ones that I already cut, the 3mm ones. Remember, not these are too long, so I used the other cut ones. It's going straight through. Let me see if this section, well, it's not holding. Okay, let me see if I can, I guess I'm gonna try to switch this and maybe punch him here, because it looks like it's going in a different direction. Well, the space where I was trying to punch it, it wasn't where I needed it to be. So I'm gonna use another one here. And okay, this one is getting through. Okay, that's not bad. I'm gonna leave it like this. Remember, it doesn't need to be crazy precise. The precision needs to be here when the leather is pulled, right here. And this corner needs to be okay, so we can, when we install them, there's another piece that installs here. So all we need to get is some more staplers. Let me see if I can get another one here. That's a little bit too far away, because for some reason I don't like where this let's see. Okay, this has twisted a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna get this back in, and let's try in a different place here. I don't know why this is not working now. Nope. Ah man, these staplers are gonna give me a heart attack today. Okay, I think because I had only 3 or 4, the gun wasn't working. I'm gonna try one more here in the corner. And you can see it's a clean hit. You can try to move it with your fingers and see if it's holding. This one is holding actually. That's a 6mm, because I was trying to, we have 3 layers of leather here, so I think I'm gonna try to go or continue with the corners, and then we're gonna figure out what we're gonna do with the rest of it, because like I said, this is a kind of trial and error. I've done this before, but not in this fashion, or not with this type of a leather. Okay, this needs to go inside here. What is this? This is a corner. So I'm gonna get this in the corner here. I'm gonna try just push this in first and then here, and let me see if this is going to work here. So it seems like you can try on this side here, on the other side, and if you don't feel the stapler, then you will be fine for sure. I'm using the 6 millimeters. They're supposed to be too big, but I'm gonna use them at those at the places where the leather is too thick, because I don't have a choice. And then I will try to figure out what I can do with the other pieces. Okay, I'm gonna try to use, okay, this is the corner here. And I'm gonna push this in here. I'll push this in here. And then in here. And I'm gonna have to cut some of this leather. It's way too much material in the place where it doesn't need to be, so I'm gonna do another hit right here. Okay, did it work? No. As you can see, even the 6 millimeter, it's not catching this, so I'm gonna try to do another hit. And I'm gonna definitely try to push it a little bit more. This felt better. Oh. Well, the leather is a little bit too big or too thick here. So what you can do is, there's a couple ways of going at this. We can do one hit here on half of the leather. And then we can do another hit on top of this. And of course you need to pull this leather here. And let's see, we can hit it here. Was there something here? Yeah, there's some plastic, something plastic, two things right here, so I'm gonna hit it here. Okay, this is not bad. We can do another hit right here on this leather, this one right here. There's something, yeah, there's a plastic thing here, so I'm gonna try to hit it on the side here. Okay. And this should be okay. Always check on the other side. These tapers should not go through, but just to make sure, you know, always check. If they go through and you feel on this side sharp point, then you got to take the stapler out before you punch the leather, or before you punch through the leather. So here, I'm gonna pull a little bit more. pull here, and I'm going to pull this here. This is going to be thick leather, so we can either do half, we can do half and half, or we can try this way. I'm gonna have to cut a lot of leather here. Okay, a bunch here. And this looks okay to me. It's not moving. We need to try to put another one here. Okay, this is actually working. It's not as bad as I thought, or I thought that we may end up damaging the leather, but that's not the case so far. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to put some more staplers here. Let me see if I can pull this. Okay, so here's okay. And I need to cut some of this leather here because there are two plastic things here. I think they go on this cover that mounts, or where this cover mounts on this bottom piece. This is what actually it looks like right now. What do you think, guys? I think this is an excellent job actually. There's a little slight imperfection here, but that will go away with time. This actually looks better than the factory, I would say. And of course, you know, you need to do a very good job here in the corners. I'm gonna try to put, where can we put, I don't like this corner here. I'll try to see if I can get another stapler here. It's just, this is a weird corner, but let's see. Oh, here we go. This is the problem. It went through. So I need to get this one out. And man, I can feel the plastic. The plastic exploded. So I need to push this plastic. Where is it? It's right here. Yeah, you need to push this plastic back in. So we're gonna have to figure something else in this case here, because this is not going to work here. I may not need to install any staplers actually in this weird corner here, because once I install this piece on this bottom piece, this leather will be compressed here in the corner, so it's not gonna be it won't let go right here in this corner. I'm gonna try to see, maybe I can put some glue in here. For now I'm gonna try to go with these staplers. Okay, so this went through the corner, which means I'm definitely not going to like this here in these corners. So where can we put? We can probably put some more staplers here. I just don't like this this leather here in the corner. Let me try to see if I can get this in this bottom corner here. No, this is too thick for this. consider this later. Just another piece here. Okay. So again, try to put a few more staplers in some places like here. If this leather is in the way, like in our case, you're gonna need to get a razor blade and you're gonna need to cut around the places where, see, like right here I have these two plastic clips. I'm gonna have to cut around this so that I can install this back. You need to cut around this. I need to cut around this post here, and this corner I may just leave it the way it is. Like I said, there's a plastic piece that this mounts to. Once I mount this here, it's going to be compressed all the way down there, so you're not going to see it. And I believe this should be enough for you guys to understand how this is replaced. Of course, strive always for perfection or the best way you can do this. Most of us can do these jobs. We're just afraid or scared that we're not going to be able to. But with some more attention, even sometimes you can call a friend, you should be able to do this job. It's an easy job. It'll save you a lot of money, and most importantly, you will be very, very happy, you know, after you do this job, that you actually manage to do it yourself. So I hope this helps you guys to do this, and maybe replace these on your car and make that car look like a new one. Again, thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe to my channel, and thanks very much. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.